A new set of articles interviewing top investment bankers and Wall Street executives of all types confirms what many of us have been saying for months now, that for all the pretenses about Joe Biden moving in a more progressive direction, his campaign is privately reassuring the rich and the powerful that no major legislation to take on corporate America is on the horizon, and that they, corporate America, have no reason to worry because all the big plans on their website are just politics, a way of winning over Warren and Sanders supporters. Now, people seeking to be president of the United States always make a number of big promises. Those who win always do not live up to many of those promises and definitely always break a number of them as well. President Obama, of course, was going to pass the Employee Free Choice Act and have a public option in his health care plan. Didn't happen. Trump was going to end endless wars and drain the swamp. Hasn't happened yet. George W. Bush said he did not want to be a nation builder and that he was a compassionate conservative, more open to the voices of the downtrodden. And then he invaded Iraq and left thousands to die in Hurricane Katrina. Bill Clinton was going to use a peace dividend from Cold War military spending to improve people's lives and didn't. And George H.W. Bush famously said the following:
"Read my lips. No new taxes."
He did, however, raise taxes. In the current presidential contest, Joe Biden is also making quite a few expensive-sounding promises, trying to appeal to the tens of millions of Americans who really do want serious action on a range of issues, from healthcare to jobs to tackling climate change and poverty. The mainstream media, in what is a ridiculous exercise in Republican messaging in disguise, has been running dozens of stories about Biden's trillions of dollars of proposed spending. Some say $3 trillion, some even say 10. All that you need to know is that the Democrats are going to spend lots of money, allegedly. The media has also latched on to the various Biden-Sanders unity commissions as a sign of how Biden is being pulled to the left. So many of those hoping for serious action were taken aback at a recent Washington Post story where Biden allies and even the campaign itself pushed back on that narrative hard. The Post article notes that, quote, "In private calls with Wall Street leaders," end quote, Biden's campaign is assuring the ultra-rich that the proposals that most worried them would in fact not be central to Biden's actual administration. One investment banker who was on one of these calls told the Washington Post that campaign officials said, quote, "Listen, this is just an exercise to keep the Warren people happy. Don't read too much into it," end quote. Now, I just want to pause here because everyone's making comparisons to the 2016 campaign. So it seems worth noting that this entire exercise has serious shades of Hillary Clinton's famous secret speeches to Wall Street, where, among other things, she said that politicians had to have a public and a private position to trick voters. Back to Biden, though, the issue of the private call wasn't all. The Post asked the campaign about the unity commissions, which of course are presented by Republicans as some sort of Bolshevik Mordor. The campaign was at pains to note that these commissions and their recommendations were just that, recommendations, just recommendations. This is an although one of Biden's close advisors, Ted Kaufman, told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "I do not think there will be big increases in federal spending," end quote. In July, Biden gave a speech at a fundraiser hosted by a top executive at Wall Street behemoth Blackstone. He told attendees that as it concerns how he will deal with corporate America, that his plans are, quote, "not going to require legislation. I'm not proposing any." Which is wild because he is proposing legislation that would affect corporate America. So who's Joe lying to? You or his Wall Street friends? Well, this is clearly of a piece with Biden's comments to wealthy donors in late 2019 as well, where he told the wealthy crowd just days after appearing at a town hall hosted by the Poor People's Campaign, he told these rich people that in Joe Biden's America, for them, the richest 1%, and I quote, "no one standard of living will change. Nothing would fundamentally change." Now, Biden's whole career has been predicated on holding down the right wing of the Democratic Party. He was the architect of mass incarceration, friend of segregationists, champion of brutal budget cuts and welfare reform, and also a loud voice in favor of the war in Iraq. And now he's saying he's going to improve the lives of average working Americans by doing the opposite of the policies he has supported his whole career. Biden has either been struck by a Damascene conversion or he's lying to earn your vote. Now, which one do you think is more likely?